At the heart of the Mara, the local community here at Emurulai village have more reasons to look forward to a new day every day. And today is not any different. In unison, they join in song and dance, welcoming us to their community project. Majority of them wives and mothers have not only found a way of making a living to support their families, but also have found opportunities for their children to go to school. In a community still deeply rooted in culture, education had for years not been a priority here. In fact, We Organization's program officer Justice Mwendwa takes me through what used to be classrooms.
This structure is very important to this community.
Barely holding on, these were the structures the few students whose parents were exposed enough to educate them would learn. Not motivating at all, he says.
When we started working here, boys and girls alike had to walk so many kilometers to access education. And the area being just next to the to wild animals, it was really challenging for animals. Just being next to the park was a challenge by itself. Girls would be walking to school and they would meet hyenas on the road, along the road, boys alike. And so we had cases where learners would be attacked by hyenas. We had cases where students would drop from school because of challenges of actually just accessing the nearest school. The other challenge was community cooperation in education. The community itself, although they wanted to support education, it was a challenge because there were not enough structures and they were not sure that if their child goes to school, they would learn in a nice environment.
Education, especially for the girl child here, had never been a priority. Culture confining them to their homes, playing their roles as wives and mothers. It is for this same reason that we, a non-governmental organization, came together to empower and sensitize the communities here in the Mara on the importance of education.
And one of the things that really came out very strongly from these parents is we want a school that embodies our culture, not like any other school in Kenya. So we have a philosophy, and one of the pillars of our philosophy is valuing our cultures. So we value their culture. We have cultural Fridays every afternoon where we have the parents come in, talk to the girls about their cultures. And so the parents and the community members feel that as much as it's a school that teaches the 844 curriculum, it still values their culture. So we haven't had any brushes with the communities in terms of their culture. We don't necessarily talk about FGM, because our work is to focus on the academics. So we don't tell them FGM is bad. We leave that to other people to do that. But for us, we focus on ensuring that the young people from these communities not only get education, but quality education.
Like for me, educating a girl is like educating the whole nation. Because a girl, when you educate a girl, she thinks about the whole nation, other people. She doesn't think only about herself. She also thinks what the people are going to do, and she teaches the people on what to do and what not to do.
Kwa upande ya elimu, tayari sasa imeanza kuinuka. Sababu unaona saa hii hata watoto wenye walikuwa wameenda university, this level sasa imeanza kuinuka juu. Samahani tulikuwa na wawili tu wenye walikuwa wameenda university level. Lakini for now imeenda juu sababu ya Kisaroni na watu wa Africa Children wamekuja kusaidia.
It took some convincing and tireless efforts by the organization to sensitize the communities here that their children can learn at the same time preserve their culture.
So when we started working actually in the community at Laila, many people didn't understand what we wanted to do, and I think what we did is we worked with the communities to realize that it's them. It's all about them. It's not about the organization. And that the change in the community, they are the driving force. They are the ones to take initiatives. And so what we've seen is, although through the 5 pillars, we've seen so many other factors come into play. We've seen people, like where we've built our current high school, Kesaruni All-Girls High School. It's at the border of 2 communities. And we have students from both communities. So that's a peace initiative. And the school itself means a place of refuge.
Partnership is really important, and it's something that we've been able to achieve within the communities where we are working. And we've been able to actually break through that resistance with the partnership from the communities that we have, where we have like leads within those communities that help us to be able to get the buy-in from the community members, and they talk about how important it is, you know, for them to embrace the change. As you know, change is never easy, and a lot of people, they fear the unknown, but it's been wonderful working with these community members and transforming their lives over the years.
But education was not the only missing link in this community.
And one time, we were driving to Nairobi, and by the roadside, we found a mom who was giving birth, and we've helped transfer that mom to a hospital that is far away from this place. Actually here, people used to use wheelbarrows to access the tarmac that is 6 kilometers away from where we are. And that's how this hospital came into being.
It was but a pipe dream that the residents here would ever see basic healthcare being offered to them. They would travel for kilometers and hours on end before they got to the nearest hospital. Now, the doctors are just but a call away.
Nipaita kuu kwa sababu najua zamani kina mama hata kutoka nyumbani anaweza pata mtoto njiani, na wakati hiyo tunabeba mama na makinia, tunaweka tukaita wazee tukasaidiana. Saa ingine hajafika hospitali kwa sababu hospitali ni mbali. Wamama nasaidia hapo hapo, na tumeona badiliko kwa sababu hospitali ni clean. Wamama nasaidia tu, hata kama mimi natoka shambani nasaidia mama, na labda saa ingine hajachukua hata kisu, tunaweka tu hata kauzi tukafunga, tukarudi nyumbani tena tukaenda kusaidia na hata kisu ya mboga. Lakini wakati hii ni wakati mzuri sana, tena ni baraka, tumefurahisha sana kama wamama. Hata mimi wakati hiyo mimi nasaidia wamama sana.
Unajua sasa wamejua ni vizuri wajifungue hospitali, si kama wakati ule mwingine. Sasa wakisikia akitaka kujifungua wanakuja haraka hapa.
Mafundisho kwa hapa kuhusu maneno ya toilet kwa nyumbani, maneno ya kuosha mkono baada ya kutoka kwa toilet, maneno ya kufanya hii pambelelani kwa wakina mama, kuleta hapa nini watoto kuchanjo, kufanya maneno ya breastfeeding kwa watoto mpaka mwezi 6, maneno mengi sana, hata kuchamusha maji, hata maneno ya kuwajibu watoto, kupatia watoto elimu, na maneno ya kufanya hii maneno ya neti, kuingia internet hapa na nje, maneno mengi sana.
Yes, when we started working in health, the main challenge was the general knowledge on health. So what we did at first is we started what we call the 8 indicators of a healthy home. And those are the basic things like boiling water, having a chimney, all that preventive measures, and they're still in place, and that helped a lot. And as we continued, we started to work on mobile clinics for the communities. So we started doing mobile clinics in every community. And later on, we started a clinic called Baraka Clinic, which has now moved to be one of the biggest hospitals in the region. Yeah.
We now have an operating room, and we have seen more than 60,000 patients now. And due to that, the community members identified another facility that was done far away from here that now was not learning, but they requested we charity to be able to learn that facility. And that's another facility that we are learning.
They say a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. And with this in place, the Women's Empowerment Center we visited first, the women are busy with their day's work, beading. They have now learned to make a living from their very own cultural practice.
It's part of the program that we do. So when they make the products, we seek for market for their products. And so our role is to connect the women with the market and also to ensure that they have sustainable income. Yeah.
So how do you ensure that? However, more needs to be done in order to ensure the communities here are self-sustainable. And once this is achieved, We Organization says they can pack their bags and move to empower other communities across the country.
The main gap is the boy child and the girl child, the boy child education, as well as empowering the people within the communities to change the world. All our programs are actually geared towards that change, empowering the communities, changing their lives from where we found them to where they are today, to where we want them to be 5, 10 years and 20 years from now.